everyone. This is Tripti Kumar, your host from Tech Jobs Fair, and I'm super excited to be here with you all with another exciting Tech Talk session. Today, we are about to dive into an exciting topic that is going to be a definitely game changer for all of you. We are joined by Mr. Jeffrey Mansur today, who is a career coach and a keynote speaker. He collaborates with colleges, universities, and organizations to empower students and professionals to gain clarity on their career path. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Tripty. I'm all good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely
Oh, that's
fine.
good.
Thank
And
you
hey,
so much.
everyone as well. I can't see the comments, but I'm sure some are there. Hope everyone is well. Just to give you an introduction as well. So my name is Jeffrey Manso, aka Mr. LinkedIn. So I'm a career coach and keynote speaker. So I'm all about helping students and professionals find direction into the careers that they want to go into. So I'm either helping them to gain clarity on their career path or helping them to find ways to advance in their careers. And I'm super excited about today's conversation because I know it's going to be an amazing one.
Yes, absolutely. And that he already mentioned his Mr. LinkedIn. He is going to share some amazing insights on how you can take the leverage of the platform for your career and your personal growth. So before we move into or dive into the topic, Jeffrey, maybe you could share a little experience or your journey in the industry so far, how you started and how you got connected with networking and what made you Mr. LinkedIn.
Yeah, so I guess my story started from the pandemic. So as you can imagine, it wasn't a great time in 2020 lockdown, but I just happened to just be pouring into people, inspiring them, encouraging them. I was giving them hope for their future, even though during that time I didn't know what the future was going to look like. But I started to get so much fulfillment from helping people as well, and also I'm a person of faith as well. So really, God was putting it on my heart to pour into people, pour into the next generation. And then I decided that, you know what, I love helping people. Let me see how I can help people further. So everything started from that desire to just help people and make a difference. And then that turned into coaching. I went to get a coaching qualification. I became qualified as a coach. And then afterwards, I just started to offer out my services to different professionals, helping them to transition to new careers, helping them to grow within their careers. And I said that, you know what? This is fun. Let me do it. And then I just started to launch a business as well. And then over that time, I've just been networking in person, networking online, speaking to so many different people who do work with students, who do work with professionals, meetings where I'm asking several questions, asking about business, asking about coaching, asking about speaking, asking about young people, asking about professionals. I literally was just in my networking game where I was literally just asking question after question after question after question. I was going to almost every networking event that you can see, speaking to people, saying who I am, what I do as well. And through speaking to different people, that allowed me to gain so much clarity in my own career path as well. So if there's anyone that's listening to me speak right now and you're in a position where you're not sure what to do, you have to be networking a lot, because networking allows you to speak to people who are in positions that you desire to be in, and they can also help you move forward as well. So upon doing that, I was using LinkedIn and I started to use it and get consistent. And then I managed to build a brand here. I managed to gain some traction. And then I just started doing speaking. Speaking just came next. I started doing speaking engagements, providing value, talking about LinkedIn, talking about networking as well. And fast forward now, I literally have been able to help students and also professionals, because just as students need help in their career choices, also professionals need help in their career choices as well. And I've just been fortunate enough by the grace of God to be able to speak at different organizations that some people may be aware of, such as BYP, Motives, and we have the UK Black Business Show as well. So that's literally my story. But if you pay attention to what I just said, my story started from a desire to help people. So right now, think to yourself, what desire do I have? What's one thing that I like to do? With that one thing that you like to do research. What's that one thing that can turn into, right? If I try to go on my journey on my own, trying to work things out, I'll be struggling. It would have, well, it's still stressful because it's not easy,
Yeah.
going out of your way to do something that you've never done before. Because I didn't come from an entrepreneurial family, so nobody was showing me the blueprint. I'm literally learning on the go. But you just have to make sure that you just put yourself out there and speak to different people. The more people that you can help, the more people that you can get support from, the more that you gain clarity, because then you gain an understanding, right? You're not going to get to a different place unless you actually apply the information, unless you go out there and practice as well. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful journey. I think one after the other things lined up for you, and it's all because of the initiative you took towards, going out there, networking, talking to people. So unless you don't do it, nothing will, come in place. So thanks for sharing your journey.
You're welcome.
And to all of our viewers out there, if you have any questions that's related to the topic, or as we go along with the conversation, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down your questions. And yes, I'm pretty sure Jeffrey is open to answering them. Before I dive into like the deeper questions and the in-depth knowledge about networking or LinkedIn. Can you tell us a little more about how networking is like, directly related to, looking for jobs or enhancing your career?
Mm. I think with networking, the best way to look at networking is relationships. You're building relationships because networking is all about people, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
when we think about networking, we get a bit overwhelmed and we try to complicate the whole process. But we have to understand that if we're in a position where we're not sure where we want to be, but someone's in a position where they're in a place of influence, building relationships allows us to find out more information, right? Sometimes we can sit on our laptops, sit on our mobile phones and Google stuff. But sometimes when you're reading articles after articles after articles, it gets overwhelming. With me, I was doing that, reading articles after articles. It was getting a bit long. I said that, you know what? Let me go through the shortcut. Okay. I go to networking events and building relationships as well. And I'm also providing value as well. Because one thing that I do is I always look for a problem that I can solve. Because no matter how successful someone is, no matter how much someone has progressed in their career and even life, I know someone's going through something. And I'm just like an investigator. What can I work out? And most times I realize that some people need encouragement. So guess who's giving them encouragement? Me. Yeah.
yeah,
Outside of LinkedIn career, I'm Mr. Encourager, right? So, some of my friends can even attest to that as well in the chat. I see Sandra True, hello. Miriam Usu, hello. I see Yusura, hello as well. Hello to everyone else. Good to see you all. Come on, Mr. LinkedIn. So one thing about networking is don't think that you have to speak with everybody that you see, because the reality of life is that not everybody can help you, but a few people can help you. So when we talk about it in person and you go to a networking event, try to arrive early. And the reason why you should arrive early is because you can speak to the event organizers, and the event organizers are aware of who's attending. You can say who you are, you can say what you do, you can say what you're looking for, right? So if I'm a tech student and I'm looking to get into tech sales, I want to speak to the event organizer because maybe they might know someone that works in tech sales and that they can introduce me to. And the reason why you need to go to the event organizer is because they make life easier for you. If you come late, you have to try and work out who's who. And sometimes you might have the courage to approach someone and then you realize they're the wrong person. And then sometimes if you're not comfortable with networking, that one interaction can just slow down your momentum because you're like, this networking thing is long. But if you arrive on time, speak to the event organizers, you will have an idea on who's there. They will guide you to people that you should speak to, and they also will do the introductions, and that's what you want. So when you go to networking events, look at their agenda, and there are certain people that you need to target. You need to target their guest speakers, you need to target their sponsors, and also you need to target the organizers, because these three are the ones that can open door for you. The bonus is just the attendees, right? Because let's be honest, if I'm struggling to get into a job, then I meet someone who's struggling to get into a job. We're struggling together. Like if there's something about me, I can't lie. I don't like talking about my struggle for too long. Okay, you need to look for a job. I need to look for a job. What are we gonna do? Yeah. Online is different, right? So we go on LinkedIn, we look at their profile, and we connect with them, and then we ask them questions about, how did you get in the position of being in tech sales? What journey did you have to go through, right? Because we know that everyone's journey is different, but what we need is insights, right? Some insights, we might not get that on an article, but we can get that through speaking to different people. So if you can find 2 or 3 different people that you can speak to that are in areas that you desire to be in, that definitely does help as well. And also another thing that I also will say about LinkedIn is that you have to make sure that you're consistent with creating content, right? If you're not sure what to do, first thing is to make sure you have your up-to-date profile picture. You need to make sure that you have a cover photo, and you need to also make sure that you have the right headlines on your
Yeah.
profile. So headlines are keywords that people will see when they first go on your profile. If you're a student, say that you're a student. Say this, talk about the subjects that you're studying as a student. If you're a graduate, say what you're a graduate in. If there's a particular job role that you want to go into, put in that job role on your keyword as well, because that allows people to find you. And also just start creating content. What does creating content look like, right? The first post that you can do is literally just upload a selfie of yourself and just introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Jeffrey Manso. I'm a business management student. I studied at Coventry University, for example, and I'm excited about getting into a tech career as well. And then you start getting into some of the modules that you have studied, and you also talk about the next steps as well. And then you start creating content about your experience. Talk about things that you've done when you've been studying. Talk about some of the experiences you've had when you've been working. And I know sometimes, right, students will probably be hearing me and think, well, I'm not expert in anything. Your story. Everyone's got a story. Whether you like the story or not, it's still a story, because your story shows what you used to be and where you are right now. Even if you may not necessarily like where you are right now, you still have a story. So it's important to share parts of your story online in terms of your career journey and education journey that can really help a lot of people as well. That's one thing I will say. And I know sometimes when we say share our story, some people may think, whoa, should I talk about my whole life? No, you don't need to talk about your whole life. Like the friends and family, protect that, yeah? Because you don't want to be saying something about your friends and family and then they calling you up and say, Jeffrey, like, how can you at me on LinkedIn and say this about me? Hey, I'm not saying talk about your family and friends and you start falling out. Hey, protect the family members, protect the friendships. Just talk about your education journey and talk about your career journey, because that will allow recruiters to find out more information about you. Because when you think about the job market, you're going in with a CV and cover letter. But guess what? Everyone has a CV. Everyone has a cover letter. So how do you stand up from the crowd, right? Because you're expecting an employer to read information that everyone else is probably saying the same thing. I'm excited about this. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic. Guess what? Everyone's saying the same thing. So what are we going to do? We're in the same playing field. But how can you stand out? LinkedIn. Yeah? When I do talks with LinkedIn, there's always one thing I always say all the time. And if you see me speak in person, you see me I say, don't post and ghost. Right? And the reason why I say don't post and ghost is because you can't just think that posting once on LinkedIn is going to be enough and then that's it, your brand is built. No, if you introduce yourself, do more and more and more. Do you need to post every single day? No, you don't. Maybe 2 to 3 times a week and put that out on LinkedIn. And then what happens is that when you are connecting with industry professionals, when you are connecting with employers, hiring managers, you're giving them more information about you, and that's going to increase the chances of you getting a response, right? Because if you have no profile picture, you have no headlines, you have no cover photo, you don't have no bio, you don't have no experience, no education, no nothing, and you're hoping that someone's going to respond to you, you're not getting a response. Because why? They think you're a ghost account. They think you're spamming, right? But make your life easier by putting information on your page, because you know that someone will always view your profile before they make a decision as to whether they respond to you. And why do I know that? Because LinkedIn will always tell you. Yeah. Other platforms like Instagram, like they say I got 500 profile views. I don't know who's watching. LinkedIn's going to tell on you. Yeah. LinkedIn will tell you that David has been viewing your profile. Right. So if David viewed my profile and he's not responding, what's going on? And sometimes, right, we may have the greatest things on our profile and some people may not respond. That's okay. Move on to the next one, right? But still keep trying and trying and trying. That's what you just have to do. It's just all about being consistent and being strategic and make your life easier. You can make your life easier by posting a lot of content on LinkedIn, on the platform, and then in the private messages, you're speaking to the employers, industry professionals, hiring managers, and then in person, you're meeting different people as well. When you do stuff like that, trust me, it's going to help you quite a lot when it comes to LinkedIn.
Right. Are there any specifics, that we need to be aware of or we need to take care of in terms of networking, like in-person events or on LinkedIn when we are, looking to expand our connections?
Do you mean anything like we have to be aware of in terms of things that we say and shouldn't say?
Or like, no, as in like any steps or anything that we have to be, aware of. Like, let's say, sometimes in terms of in-person events, like we always need that, that icebreaker,
Oh,
like
right,
how
yeah,
to
of course,
present
yeah,
yourself,
definitely, yeah.
how
What?
to uh, certain maybe steps that we could
Okay,
follow both
steps,
in
yeah,
terms
yeah, of
of
course, yeah.
in-person and online networking.
Okay, that's good. So with networking in person, one thing that you can follow is by doing an elevator pitch. So elevator pitch is a 30 to 60-second summary of who you are, what you do, what you're looking for, and a call to action, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes if we go to networking events and we're not sure what to say, just get straight to the point of saying who you are. So if I was to do this right now on the spot, this is what I'll say. I'll say that my name is Jeffrey Manso, aka Mr. LinkedIn. I am a career coach and keynote speaker. I'm all about helping students and professionals find direction into the careers that they want to go into. I'm keen to find out different ways on how I can collaborate with your school to help your young people prepare for their future success. Would it be possible to get your LinkedIn where we can find some time to have a 30-minute call later this month? And then when they say yes, I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. Hope you have an amazing day. So that's me. If I'm a student, this is what I'll say. Hi there, my name is Jeffrey Manso. I am a business management graduate and I am looking to get into marketing. I just wanted to see if your company will be hiring. I've got a lot of experience in management. I've got a lot of experience in marketing, and I feel like I'll be a great fit for your organization. Would it be possible to get 30 minutes of your time where I can have a conversation about the marketing positions that you have available and any requirements that I need to be aware of ahead of time? Would it be possible to get your LinkedIn? And then they'll give me the LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Hope you have a lovely day and see you soon. So one thing about networking is that when you speak to someone, you want to have the conversation, say who you are, say what you do, call to action, get the LinkedIn, and then move on to the next person and the next person. But then
Mhm.
what happens next is that after networking events, you want to connect with that person and
Yeah.
you want to say what you do again. And the reason why you have to say what you do again is because the person that you just spoken to has probably spoken to about 15 other people. So the likelihood of them remembering what you've just told them is going
Yeah.
to be slim. So what you could do is you can either write a message, or what I personally like to do is I like to send voice notes because voice notes are more personable. So if you didn't know, on LinkedIn you can send voice notes up to about 1 minute. So I'll send a voice note reminding them who I am, what I do, what I'm after, and then just get straight into the point of asking for a meeting. And from there, you should have a meeting. Also, one thing to note as well is even though you've had a great conversation with someone face to face and you follow up with them, sometimes they don't respond. If that's the
Yeah.
case, try and follow up about 3 or 4 days later, or even up to a week. And if they don't respond, you can maybe try one more time. And then still, if they don't respond, then you can move on to the next person. And I don't want anyone to take networking personally as well, because I've made videos as well where people in the comments are like, "Oh, why they not responding to me? Like they must not like us." And I'm like, "Hey, it's not that deep, you know. Like, don't take networking personally, right? Sometimes, as much as we have a great conversation with someone online, sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. But we shouldn't see it as a personal attack on us. It's not. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone is just busy. Someone's busy. They've got a lot going on in their day job, or sometimes someone doesn't have the capacity to have other meetings outside of their working hours because they're very busy with their day jobs. They may not necessarily communicate that to you, but one thing I'll say is that if there are different people that can help you on your career journey, and certain people that you thought could help you in a moment, it's not working out, move on to the next person as well, because we can't attach our goals to certain people, right? Yes, we know that certain person can give us an opportunity, but if it doesn't work out, then let's move on to the next person as well. Okay, Miriam asked a question. Is it cool to send a voice note to someone you don't know before just because you network with them physically at an event? Yes, definitely. I do it all the time. All the time, yeah? Even people I just recently connected with, I send them a voice note. I don't know them. I don't know Tina. I message Tina. I say, hey Tina, how are you today? Hope you're well and hope you're good. It's definitely great to connect with you here on LinkedIn. Just to give you a bit of a background about myself, I do coaching and speaking. Then I just get straight into what I do as well. So because I do it all the time, I almost have like a routine. So that's one thing I'll say about networking as well. Just practice with your friends and family in terms of your elevator pitch, and then put yourself out there. Even if you may say something and you might get it wrong, or it might not come out the way that you envisioned it in your mind. Yeah, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't take it too seriously, and give yourself some grace. Just know that you're doing something for the first time. Be patient about the process, and know that it just takes more practice. More practice. When you have more practice, you can eventually get better at it.
All right. And another question is about the content that you spoke about LinkedIn, right? Creating content for
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
of
So
course.
let's say someone's not very active on LinkedIn. They have their profile, and then now because they heard you, so they want to be, active and consistent on their profile. So in terms of creating content, what could be the content for them? Like if they are just starting, their profile or starting their branding on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, of
So
course, yeah.
for beginners, like you said, they can upload a selfie. Now, what after that? To
Okay, so
be
after that, what you can do is talk about the industry that you like to get into. So, for example, if you're interested in the tech industry, maybe do some research on tech and find an interesting insight, and then you can post about it. So, if you see an article that you want people to read, post the article, but share your thoughts on the article. Do you agree with these changes? If not, say why. If you do, just say why as well. And also just talk about, document the journey that you're on to discover new things about tech. So what is something that you're learning about the industry that you're in as well? What is something that you have done, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why this is good is because you can also use this as conversation starters for someone that's in the industry that you want to work in. So for tech, if you find an interesting article, or you find something interesting, you can speak to the person that you reach out to and get helps and insights, and then you can talk about some of those insights that you posted as well. So in terms of content to post on LinkedIn, post about the industry that you're interested in. Also post about the experience that you have. If you've been working jobs before where you've got customer service skills, or you've got skills that's related to the industry that you want to go into, talk about some of the skills that you have. Talk about some of the skills that you've learned. Talk about the skills that you have, and use that as well. And you can also speak about your education journey as well. So if you study something that's totally different to where you want to go, just talk about why you felt like you wanted to study that before, and then also talk about the reasons why you want to pivot as well, because at the end of the day, people always want to see a story as well. Those are the kind of things. So post about things that you're interested in terms of the industry that you want to go into as well. And if there's areas that you're passionate about that's linked towards the industry, just create content as well.
It's also about storytelling. It also
Storytelling
tells,
as well, and just providing value, right?
yeah.
How can you post something that where someone can benefit from as well? Like for example, I speak about LinkedIn in terms of like how to post on LinkedIn, what to post on LinkedIn, and how to also get more engagement as well. And one way that you can get more engagement is to not only connect with people but also engage with their content. So on your timeline on the homepage on LinkedIn, we see different people that post different things, right? So rather than saying thanks or congratulations or that's good or great post, give your opinion, right? Give
Yeah.
your opinion and contribute to the conversation. Of course, if someone posted something where all you can say is congratulations, cool, congratulations. But if there's an opportunity to come up with a counter argument for what they're saying, add more points, or you can disagree or you can agree, put that in a comment section. And the reason for that is because a lot of people take time on LinkedIn to read people's comments. So because they'll look at your comment, guess what they'll do? They'll go onto your LinkedIn profile, they'll click on your profile, and then they'll give you a follow. But that follow is always an if, right? If your LinkedIn profile is not up to date, no profile, no cover photo. You know when you don't have a cover photo, so LinkedIn gives you your own cover photo, the blue one. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
don't have anything on your LinkedIn, then you're not going to
Like
get a follow.
default.
It'll just say David viewed and David left. Yeah. But if you're already posting your own content on there, guess what happens? Someone wants to follow you as well, right? when someone likes you and they trust you, but they don't know you, they've never seen you before, they've never met you. That's branding. Yeah. Even when the way I post on LinkedIn, some people think they know me. They're like, yeah, Mr. LinkedIn, I know him. Don't post any ghosts. I'm like, are you sure you know me? You think you know me, but you don't know. There's still more sides to me. But that's powerful, right? Because if you can buy from someone that you don't know, you've never seen them before, but all of a sudden you trust them from the words that they say, from the things that I mentioned in the video, that's powerful, right? And LinkedIn is an opportunity for you to stand up from the crowd, because then, back to what I was saying before about the job application process, CV or resume, cover letter, LinkedIn page. Once you add that there, boom, you're good. And for certain roles, right, it's going to involve needing portfolio, right? If you can create a portfolio website where you can put some of your most recent work there, that's very good, right? Because certain roles, especially in the creative industry, right, they're not just taking your CV and cover letter, because everyone's doing that. They want to take portfolio. What have you done? What have you achieved, right? If you can show that on a portfolio website and send it to them, what happens is that you make the interview process easier, because then they have a huge desire to want you. So now they're just trying to finalize certain stuff. Whereas if you just about got an interview and no one knows you, then the interview process is a bit more difficult, because then they're coming up with the hardcore questions where you're just about taking time to answer one and then they just ask you another one, and your head, you're like, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. Yeah.
Right. So it's really nice to know that you talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn as Mr. LinkedIn. So it's awesome to know that. And now I think that this is one of my biggest question today is, there's LinkedIn and there's LinkedIn Premium. So a lot of people who are not on premium do not get a lot of benefits that LinkedIn provides, like for example sending personalized notes, for seeing who viewed their profile, or for even in terms of networking and researching, they have certain limitations, right? So what would be your suggestions for those who are not on premium yet and are on the basic LinkedIn?
I'll say if you're on the basic LinkedIn, I'll say still don't panic, because the basic LinkedIn allows you to view the last 5 people that have seen your page.
Yeah.
Because one thing is that LinkedIn Premium, depending on the one that you go for, it can be costly, right? But if there's an opportunity to get it for free for a trial, definitely get it for free, and use that as an opportunity to view other people's profiles, connect with them as well, and see if you can send a direct message as well. But even if you don't have premium, one thing that you should do is when you send a connection request and you do it from your laptop, especially, there's always an opportunity to send a personalized message. Always do that. And the reason for that is because when you send someone a personal request, if you have extra writing there with a personalized message, someone's going to see that and someone is going to accept you and also respond. And that's still powerful without even having to use premium as well. So I don't want anyone to be thinking that you need LinkedIn Premium to get around for LinkedIn. No, you don't. Yes, Premium have some benefits where you can get, depending on the one that you go for. If you go for the Sales Navigator, you get insights on like decision makers. You can see people that view your page for the last quarter of 365 days. That's cool. But even if you're starting out and you just have 5 people, that's okay. But I'll say that it's always important that if you want to invest in LinkedIn Premium, put a budget aside. So find out how much it costs, find out the one that you need, and put a budget aside to eventually jump on Premium. Can you jump on Premium straight away and pay for it? If not, how long would it take you? If it needs to take you 4 to 5 months of certain payments every month, put that aside. 4 to 5 months to go. But if you don't have Premium, you just have a normal account, still send the personalized messages, because that always helps as well. And again, what you post on your LinkedIn page also determines whether someone should follow you. If you look like you have a ghost account, you're not going to get a follow. But if you've been active, people are going to follow you, right? So even me, when I connect with new people on LinkedIn, I don't even worry about the whole personalized messages as well, because I know sometimes a lot of recruiters are also trying to get their attention. I just send sometimes a normal request, or sometimes I put a personalized message, and guess what? They follow me back. And the reason for that is because I've got a lot of things on my page to offer as well. So that's one thing I'll say. in regards to the LinkedIn Premium. If you are able to use it for a month, because sometimes they offer a trial session,
Yeah.
definitely do that as well and utilize that for a month. And if you don't want to pay for it anymore, one thing I was doing before is I'll put in my calendar like cancel premium at least 3 days before, because if you don't cancel it, they're just going to take the payment out of your account as well.
Okay.
So I'll say if you're someone where you don't have the budget for LinkedIn Premium, still don't worry. Still update your profile with the latest information, cover photo, keywords, experience, careers. Still post content as well. And then when you send connections, send a personalized message, and stuff like that will always help.
Awesome. Just have a couple of more questions for you.
Yes,
So,
all right.
as a professional, how can they identify the right steps, right, they need to take care of in terms of networking or building their personal brand?
And what are the next steps? What are the steps that they need to take in order to build their personal brand?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the first thing from a professional point of view is, with where you are right now, your career, if you're looking to pivot into something else, try and work out what that is, and then start updating your profile as well, right? Sometimes the problem that we have is that if we're someone where we see ourselves as multi-talented, I'm good at so many different things, let me put that in on LinkedIn. That gets confusing, because then when someone goes to your page, they
Yeah.
almost see you as a jack of all trades but master of none. Pick
Yeah.
one or two things that not only are you good at, but you want to be known for on LinkedIn, right? There's other things that I'm passionate about, right? I'm passionate about food, right? But I don't put that on my LinkedIn and say food lover, because what's that gonna do, right? Yeah, I just enjoy that behind the scenes. But I put LinkedIn and networking because those are the areas that I'm passionate about. So pick one or two subjects areas that you're passionate about. Connect with people who are in that field. Speak to them about these areas in terms of like, what's it like getting into this industry? What's it like working this particular role? And what are the challenges in terms of what I can expect? Because that's quite important, right? Because we know that every job role that we see advertised online will almost advertise it as the best thing ever. They'll give you all these benefits and make you feel like, whoa, this is the best thing. They'll talk about stuff like, oh, free parking. But then what's free parking to you if you don't have a car? Yeah. You ain't got nothing. Yeah. But that's
True.
one thing that you can do. Just speak to professionals about where you want to go, and then also speak about your desire to get into this industry as well, and then just document your journey. Take people on the journey of you getting into this industry, right? By going to a networking event. When you go to a networking event, you don't just do the elevator pitch to get the LinkedIn, but take pictures of some of the speakers or some of the stands. Take a picture of yourself at, at the event, and then you can also talk about that and say, hey, I was at this tech event, this tech fest. It was very amazing as well. They spoke about the importance of making sure that you innovate as well. Talk about your learnings and then post that there, because then when someone sees your page, they can see that you're actually making effort to try and get into
Yeah.
this particular industry as well. Because when people take time out of their schedule to try and help you, what they want to do is they want to see that you're trying, right? It's not the first time you'll try to get into something and they ask you, what have you done so far? Oh, nothing. The likelihood of someone helping you is going to be slim, because it's like you're trying to get into an industry. These times you haven't done nothing and you're trying to get help from me. But if you say that, you know what, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been doing that, someone can see that you have the work ethic, you have the right approach, you have the good attitude. You just need a bit of fine tuning, you just need a bit of direction, and then they can give that to you as well.
Yeah. True.
Mm,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thanks so much. That was amazing that you shared. I have my final question for you would be: can you share some, networking, let's say, platforms or events, or how can they find these events both online and in person?
Okay. So the first one is Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Eventbrite. So eventbrite.com or .co.uk or wherever country you're in. Eventbrite is also one where you can type in career fairs, career events, or type in the name of the industry. If it's tech, just type in tech, project management, just type in project management. You can find one. There's another website called meetup.com where you can find networking events there. There's also another website which I think is quite new, Luma, Luma. Luma. I think it's luma.com. or lu.ma. Just Google Luma events. You will find it as well. Also LinkedIn events as well. If you go to the network and you scroll down, there should be a part which says events. You can find different events that take place on LinkedIn that you can also go to as well. Or sometimes they may advertise events on LinkedIn that's actually taking place in person in your area or in your country. Those are areas that you can go to as well. And yeah, those are places where I say that you can find networking events as well. And don't feel pressure to go to every single networking event that you see, because sometimes networking can be tiring as well, especially if you don't live in the city that the networking event is as well. Trying to get the late train and everything. Just only pick 1 or 2 events in a month that you feel like that they are absolute must. I have to be there, and I need to make sure that I get these opportunities as well. Don't let FOMO get you, because when FOMO gets you, you'll be going to so many different places. You get tired as well. One thing about networking as well is that it takes time, right?
Yeah.
One conversation doesn't mean a job opportunity, doesn't mean mentorship, doesn't mean coaching, but it's just the period of being consistent. If you're consistent with checking in on someone, just as you check in with a friend, you check in with a family member, it takes consistency. Checking in, see how they're getting on in terms of their career, seeing how you can be a support and provide value. And the same way how you talk about what you do, you can also get that as well. Because the best relationships with networking is give and take, right? As much as I'm giving to you, you're also giving to me as well. And that's mutually beneficial, because any networking relationship where it feels like you're just trying to use someone for an opportunity and you're not giving them anything in return, that's not going to go anywhere, because then someone feels like use. And one thing about human beings, we don't like feeling used, right? We want to know that even though we're busy, we're taking time out of our schedule to speak to you, we know that you're also going to bless us in a different way as well. So that's what I'll say in terms of how to find networking events, also things to look out for when it comes to networking as well, and all those kind of stuff as well. So please put yourself out there. Don't be discouraged if someone doesn't respond to you. Please don't take it personally. Think about the goals that you want to achieve, and think who's in the position that I desire to be in, that I can reach out to them. If the conversations go well, that's cool. If it goes well and then it slows down, that's okay. Don't take it personally. Still move forward to the next person, because there are different people out there that can help you achieve your goal. So if someone's stalling, that's okay. Don't take it personally. Move on to the next one. Still have that pursuit and desire to make sure that you keep putting yourself out there, because the more you put yourself out there, someone will eventually give you an opportunity.
Absolutely. That was inspirational. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for sharing all the valuable insights with our viewers today. And I really, really appreciate your active participation in today's session. But, we do have some time limitations, which is why we have to bring the session to an end. And that's going to be all for the viewers today. Is there anything that you would like to add from your end before we wrap the session up?
Anything? Oh, so one thing about LinkedIn is just be active, be present, and try and post 2 to 3 times a week as well. Do connect with me on LinkedIn as well, Jeffrey Manso. You should see my name somewhere. And also, one thing I always say, as Mr. LinkedIn says, don't post then ghost. LinkedIn, don't post then ghost. LinkedIn, don't post then ghost. LinkedIn, don't post then ghost. Thank you for having me, and yeah, happy to answer any questions if it's on the chat. If not, feel free to message me privately, or I can get back to you in the comments as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much once again for joining us. And guys, you can start your networking journey by starting with Jeffrey. You can start networking with him, me, and then you can build your network, and so on and so forth. And I really like the fact that you kind of have a stage name, Mr. LinkedIn. And thank you so much for joining us once again, Jeffrey. And to all of our viewers, if you're looking for any networking opportunities, feel free to log on to Tech Jobs Fair to check out our events, both in personal and virtuals. So I think that's going to be it for today. I will see you all again next time. So until then, take care. Bye-bye. And thanks again for joining us, Jeffrey. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. See you later, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.